I will say that today was like blah. Like I woke up, it was cold, blah. Like Eagles losing, blah. Like quarterback benched. You know what I'm saying? Like vaccines out, but like, you know. But the one thing that like got me out of bed, other than my workout, which I've been doing every day for the last 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about that later. I'm getting in shape, getting back in shape. Was this fucking show. So I'm happy to be here with you guys. This is, I don't even know what episode this is number-wise, but this is another edition of the TRFE Happy Hour. And today we got a Philadelphia music staple, Philadelphia hip-hop staple. You know what I'm saying? None other than, I mean, I can go on. He's a rapper, producer, singer, everything in between, band leader, all that, Hezekiah. And his brother, none other, Ross D. Got the
guru, bro. What you smoking? Hold up, wait a second. Hey.
What's up?
I need that real quick. There you go. There you go.
So one of the things that like I'm appreciative of is like coming up in Philly is being a part of the Philadelphia music scene, and like I think even more so now, like as we get older, like being able to watch people like grow, watch their careers grow. And I remember seeing Hezekiah, I don't know, early mid-90s-ish, you and Richard Raw, and I just want to say, like, it's been great watching you grow, watching your career grow. We're super excited to have you here. You know what I'm saying? Start like I know you're originally from Chester by way of Delaware, all that, but like what like brought you to Philadelphia? Like, is it because it's the closest to the scene?
Y'all did. Y'all, it was like, because I was going to Hip Hop 101. That's how I met Sayo. I think I ran into you. I ran into Heath. I ran into a lot of people around that time. Y'all probably didn't know because I was new. You know what I'm saying? I was a new face. But it was the vibe that I wasn't getting from Delaware. And I love Delaware. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it was a certain tribe. You know what I'm saying? It was free-minded. Y'all were free-minded. I grew up in a house, you know, with culture and all that. But y'all were like that too. But I was also from Chester, so I had like the culture with the, and y'all were just like that. You know what I'm saying?
You had the culture with the 5 as well and shit. I get you.
So I loved it, and I felt like home. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what made me want to move there. And then the creativity, whether it was art, you know, how Prince, just how they describe us, period, in legal matters, whether we're dancers, break dancers, MCs, DJs. We're, like Prince said, that's why Prince called himself the artist. Once he started reading the contracts, he said, oh, they just call us all artists. Whether we're comedians, it's the same contract. So I started looking at the art community like, oh, these mugs, it's like, this before the whole, you know, elevation of, but I just looked at us all as artists because I was always an artist. I paint. I was a painter. I used to do art exhibits when I was like 16, 17. I do oil pastel, oil paints and all that stuff. And so when I ran into y'all, it just covered my whole gamut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, and then to be like a lot of people like embrace me, like Bahamadia and Rich Nichols and Quest, you know, Amir and a lot of y'all, you know, like it was like dope to be an implant and to be like, you know, brought in, and that was dope, and that's why I came to Philly.
That's what's up. Like, so like Mike does a segment and it's called Over a Drink. So I'm gonna take Mike's place. You right? You know what I'm saying? Mike, and bear with me, Mike, he doesn't know anybody. And that's his thing. That's not his thing. He knows a lot of people, but there are a lot of people he doesn't know. So
it's people I don't know neither. Before I still be running into people because I am an implant, and I feel like I'm disrespecting because I don't know, because there's so much history that you can miss, because especially when you're moving and shaking, you might miss certain things and certain people and certain connections. And it's not disrespect. It's just sometimes that's what ignorance does. It's not ignoring, but it's just like the absence of knowing.
So I'm gonna go against Mike, and because I know you, I can't play that game. Like, so if I don't, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna play that game. I'm gonna go a different way. All right. So since COVID started, I started cutting my own hair. Right. I went out. I bought some clippers. Started cutting my own hair. Like, I never did that. I always went to the barbershop twice a week. Made my appointment. Still had to wait. Gave him my $50 plus the shampoo girl and all that. Once I cut my hair, it was barbershop time. Right. So some of us want to know, what's the science behind your hair? Are you cutting your own hair? Are you doing that? What's happening?
My lady has cut my own hair, and sometimes I cut it and it be coming out. It come out like I got the joint to the side. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, is me just shaping around. I can feel the circle. I hold my hand around it. And I cut around the hand. And I cut my hair for a long time. The reason after I cut my locks, I got sick of paying for haircuts. That shit gets expensive, right?
That's what I'm saying. I had long hair for 14, 15 years. Right. Cut my hair, I'm like excited to get haircuts. After a year or so, it's like, yo, man.
What's the inspiration for the circle, Hez?
One day I was like, well, first time, you know, I'm always like, what am I going to do to separate myself from the pack? I've been profiled by the police so many times. So, one, I didn't want to be another bald black dude in Philly with a beard.
A lot of those.
So, Dame, I didn't want to be mistaken as you because I knew.
You know what I go through?
Whatever Dame is doing, I don't want to be mistaken. I don't want that to be put on me. So nah, but the thing is like you could say centering, balance. I wanted a balanced haircut. Also, I got a song on the new album that it starts off, she's short, I'm tall. She don't shave her legs, I'm going bald. She's all I have, you know what I mean? So that part too. And so I just had to figure out a way to maneuver around. It's mathematics, man. The math was, so it's art. You work with what you have. There was no clay up here, so I had to work with the clay that was back here. And there you go, okay? Dang.
I love it.
Must you know, Yaya?
Thank you for that.
How'd you know she had to know, first of all? But yeah.
I'm 48, damn it.
All these people learned to cut each other hair after the pandemic. Like, barbershops will never be the same. Like, people will go back, but not to the level we did, I think, right?
Nah. Are you doing that with your hair? You don't
I cut mine and I cut hers, and we kind of give each other the same haircut, so we give each other notes. It's kind of just a mohawk, you know, and she's got the same thing.
Hey, Eric, are you going to the barbershop?
I have been recently at like the peak of, well, I guess the peak is like now, but at the beginning of quarantine, Alex was actually cutting my hair.
Oh, Alex.
Yeah. Okay.
Add that to the list of creative.
Okay. Ross D has a creative cut too. He it's not cut right now, but he had.
It's hard to see.
Light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hello, hang time back there.
Yeah.
It's a Buddhist cut off, so it's bald up here, and then his locks are in the back that goes down here.
Love that. Love it.
I just refuse to let it go.
I know that's right.
Hold on to it as long as you can.
Hold on as long as you can, man.
That's right. So, Samson needed his locks. That's right.
So 8+ albums. bunch of EPs, bunch of singles, like
still going.
Of course, still going, bunch of tours. I remember having several conversations with you through the years. Like, what's one thing that you've learned about the music industry that was tough?
That creatives are far in between, and creatives are picked upon, and creatives are they hold a very tight space in society. You know what I'm saying? I learned that, and then I watched movies like the Lego Movie, where they called the creatives. The funny thing about the Lego Movie, the bad guy was named President Business, and the creatives were called the Master Builders, and they were exiled from the city in the first Lego Movie. So I relate to that.
What in the Wu-Tang? Like, what?
Yeah, watch the first Lego Movie.
Is there some hidden truth in the first Lego Movie that we don't know about?
Watch the first.
Okay.
You know.
You have to go back.
Incredible. So after years in the industry, I learned that, and then I started really embracing creatives. I've learned that you have to meet people where they're at. This is what my brother taught me. Creatively, I'm talking about just as a producer, right? You can have people in a room say, okay, we deal with samples, right? We're all hip hop right here, right? So I'm gonna use an example. So you deal with one person that didn't grow up on hip hop, and then then you deal with an artist that did grow up on hip hop, and you're say it's a singer, and you're teaching them how to a Wu-Tang Clan method, like how to talk to the sample, right? And you elaborate or do harmonies on top of the samples, but as opposed to a person that didn't grow up on hip hop. I'm learning they have issues. They would like for you to take the samples out because they think the samples get in their way instead of assisting them. So they need more of a clean slate, but you have to meet them where they're at. You can't. It's like you have to be able to bend as a producer. And that's one thing I've learned over these years, like running the studio and working with more people instead of just working with me and my people, working with just anybody coming in. I have to let everything I know go and meet them where they're at. And that's one thing I learned is patience as a producer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Our producers on this happy hour, so.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. That's one thing I learned.
I can relate to that. I mean, oftentimes at the studio, I have people of all skill levels coming through, and they come in, you kind of see where they are, and you make a goal. Like, if I can make them sound a little better than when they came in and make them happy and make the song a little better, like I'm not going to turn that out with a radio song tonight. So let me just get my expectations straight, like let me just meet them, like you say, meet them where they are and try and make it a little better,
Right. And sometimes they're right. And well, sometimes their level works for that. So sometimes we have too many choices. We overproduce, we'll overthink. Sometimes that it helps me with my stuff. Sometimes I got to scale down. Sometimes I don't need to over record or overdo ad libs or over,
Yeah.
It teaches me a lot too. So it's like still sharpen still. Sometimes you got to go back to where you were once there, and sometimes you listen to your old songs and be like, damn, something's changed. And maybe it was like just your mindset, and they're there to remind you sometimes.
For sure.
It's Benjamin Buttons, man. They're growing up and you're growing down.
Yeah. Like we could spend an hour talking about all of the records and all of the stories, but I think people really want to know this kind of stuff as well. Like just like the motivation and like for example, like do you, sure, like what do you do with like Do you get writer's block ever? Like, you write so much. Every time I see you, I talk to you, you talk about music. We're interviewing you for the festival, and you're humming and you're singing. There's a beat on, you're freestyling. Like, you're like walking embodiment of music. So is it ever like a point when you're like not feeling it? And like, what's that like?
Oh, it's always on. And then, I'm not joking.
Right.
Good.
Well, for me and him, music is just life. If I don't hear sound, I feel like I'm dead. So music to me is all my moods, whether I'm happy, sad, crazy, whatever my mood is, I have music that will fit that.
Yeah.
So I can eat, sleep, and drink music. And my brother showed me garage band because I was getting ready to give up music. Because I couldn't find a way to get my vision out.
Yeah.
And so he showed me a way to do it with Serato sample and garage band.
That's great.
Right. So, and he was the one that taught me how to rap. He taught me how to rhyme. He taught me how to make beats. You know how you do pause cutting back in the day?
Yeah, pause tapes. Yeah. I was going to ask you, like, also getting back to like the earlier, like being in Delaware, or for that matter, Chester. Like what was the hip hop scene like there? Like where were you getting it from that would make you want to go seek it somewhere else?
Yeah. And we got an older brother named Quaz. He was a GQ dancer. You remember GQing?
Yeah.
So GQing was like before, like it was like our region of like, what was it, pop, what would you consider pop locking? But it was like more footwork. It was more footwork, right? GQing.
Right.
So my brother was GQ dancing, and he would bring it home, and he knew like Steady B and all them, and like Lucy and all them. So I would come up to Philly with him, and I actually saw like Cool C, Steady B, I'm showing my age right now, all of them out in the park. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid tagging along with my brother and my oldest brother. Then I would get it from him. He would listen to he was like in the Bad Brains. He was in the Fishbone and Jimi Hendrix. And so I got that from him. Then I got the other stuff from my other brother. Then my dad was country as fuck. My mom, my mom listened to straight funkadelics and all that, jazz and, she gospel, all that stuff. So it was like a big thing in my house of just music all around. My sister, my
melting pot.
Yeah, it was like a big melting pot. Shit, my sister was learning Arabic. She went to Arabic class. Like 7 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? My sister was rapping in Arabic by the time she was fucking 14 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Right, for real talk, right?
Wow.
So it was a different type of house that we lived in. So that's where I got my.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you touched on in that little bit of, you touched on two things that's been kind of current in the last, I think, 3 podcasts we've done. One has been like Black families or inner city families for the most part, like encouraging kids to create. Or I talked about when I was coming up, like we weren't encouraged to be creatives. Like if you couldn't draw or like rap wasn't considered being a creative. Like dancing, going to a club and battling and dancing wasn't you weren't really a creative. That was just something that you did. Like what was your job? So to hear your family, you growing up steeped in music, that sounds incredible.
Well, my family grew up. Our grandfather had a band called the Gospel Disciples, and they're from Chester, Pennsylvania, and they have records out. You can look them up. The Gospel Disciples. They're still together. They're another version of it. They're different members. They're called the Gospel Disciples. That's my uncle and grandpa's band, and they have records. The records on the wall at my studio. Oh, the picture's right there. Oh yeah. So. So
Oh,
Damn.
Wow. Okay.
sharp.
so these guys, so these guys, I grew up they, like 5 doors down from my grandma in Chester, and we would just watch them sit on the steps. You would crawl down the steps and walk.
Yeah.
And we just watch them, watch the whole band, just rehearse and listen to the conversations. And I was just a little kid that was trapped, started writing my little raps. What do you know? Sitting in class at back row, like, fuck it, I dropped out. Gotta go. Gotta listen before you diss them. They took the music program from the public school system. Where'd it go? They say something changed in the music and they blame it on the youth, and I'm asking how they supposed to grow. My mom said all I talk about is music. My girl said all I want to do is music. My people said all I talk about is music. You goddamn right, nigga, get used to it.
Talk about it. First of all, I just got to say that you're the first person to actually like rap on the show. So that's history right there. Second, the other thing outside of family and music was Cool C.
Yep,
and
I was gonna say that
because we got dissed by Cool C at Hip Hop Woodstock. Yeah, man. You remember Hip Hop Woodstock and shit? And CV performed and shit. Yeah, they dissed us, man. They was talking about, you know what I mean, all them New York looking niggas with the Timbs and the
Hold on. Was that at the Plateau?
Yeah, man.
I was there.
I was there too. That's what I'm talking about.
we're building witnesses and evidence.
Damn. All right. So, wait, Hez, do you remember this? Do you remember?
Yes, EST was there too, right? EST was performing too, right?
It was CB. It was like the newly formed like Cool C, Steady B, and it was like the other boy that was with him and shit. I forget his name and shit. But like
this has always been a thing in hip hop, right? When people talk about hip, and this is going on right now too. This is like the new thing. They're talking about Meek Mill right now. They're talking about Young Thug not liking Andre 3000 or
ridiculous.
So it's always been like this though. But it's 2020 and people are starting to see certain things. I've always pointed this out. You can look at Mos Def has a song called Children's Story where he predicted Biggie's death exactly, right? Mm-hmm. Remember, Puffy didn't like that. Remember? We remember. Can we be honest?
You know what's crazy? I want
the Roots, what they do. Yeah. You always had these two dynamics.
I wanted to ask you. You touched on that. Like, you know, it was a big deal when Biggie and Tupac died, right? It was like rappers had died before, rappers had been killed before, like Big L was murdered, but I think in the age that we were in at that time, it was like with wherever technology was, it was a big deal, like MTV, all that, and now like rappers are dying like every day, like
it's a shame. And what is that? What is?
I think it's a form of them thinking that that's what hip hop is, and that's what the music is. It's all I gotta get mine, fuck getting yours, and it's murder. It's suicide, because if that's all you talk about is the situation you're in, and not talking about how to get out.
Well, there's good and evil in everything. There's good and evil even in nerds. And Facebook's a time sucker. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg.
I like the fact that Hez is going to answer every he's going to respond to everything with a verse.
Yeah.
From his career. It's like, oh yeah, that's perfect. You know what?
Insert. But yeah, it's good and evil in everything. And I'm not so cool. That's kind of hard to say. But the thing is, like, to empower yourself, when they say, I got the keys. You know what I'm saying? So it's a key out of that situation. And the key, what is the key, Dane? I'm a rap. You know I'm a rap. Okay, if knowledge is the key, then just show me the
Show
lock.
me the lock. Okay. I thought you were getting deep. I thought you had a verse.
Nah.
I know you like the classics.
And then Africa is shaped like a key. And this is protected by the red, the black, and the green with a key.
Oh man, connecting the dots. That's what I'm talking about.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So knowledge is set to set these kids free, but they don't. It's like you don't want the knowledge, and this is the part where Jesus had to go because Jesus had to leave. Because what happens is you try to save people, you end up, like Nipsey, or you end up like, you know what I'm saying? And then you have people with Savior syndrome and Stockholm syndrome and
Mm-hmm.
So it goes on and on and on. So it's like, I don't know.
And then some people are comfortable in that space. So if you try to show them, even whether you consider a better way or whatever, if they're comfortable in that space, then they will fight against something that's even going to help them.
It's hard to break anyone out of something they know and are comfortable in, for sure,
Yeah.
I think part of the issue is you got people that are actually out that don't want to like pull back the curtain and be like, nah, this is you know what I mean? Like there used to be a dividing line with the art and the reality. And like now reality TV has us thinking everything is real. And then if everything isn't real, then like what we doing? And like there's no like dividing line between like what's real anymore, because if you can't see it on Instagram, that shit ain't real. If you can't see it on whatever, did it really happen? If you can't post it, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's what a lot of these careers are being driven by, is like it's the marketing of it and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be like, no, we were just playing on that song, and then I got a song about like feeding the kids and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You look at artists that have made like sort of changes in their careers, but still go back to that same music because.
But then Dame, I made an album called Conscious Porn for that reason, 2010. That's when I realized all of this is because it's a yin and yang. There's good and evil and everything. And then what is evil? And evil only it's like rules, and then you got rules, and then you got laws, and then rules. You can change laws, but then you can't change rules. God gave, you know what I'm saying? So then, oh Jesus, I was hanging around a bunch of strippers.
Let's go. This is what we really want to know, man. Like, you wait till like 36 minutes in to talk about the strippers, man. Like, we all waiting. Come on, man.
Look, but strippers is like this, man. I helped write a song with Bilal called Flying. You ever heard that song?
Yes.
It's about a stripper. I got a friend, and she, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a stripper song, but that's another side of the strip culture, right? And you get to see that stuff up close and personal, and and I started seeing, I was helping strippers move, so I had a different like perspective of it, and they were awesome shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, but another thing I found out, we had these same conversations. I street dudes and the strippers having they think they have money mind, so they think, and it's shit. I have sample brain, so I think it's like they think of real estate. They have those conversations. They have conscious conversations. Then we go over to the conscious side. We got conscious people, peace queen, but then it's the same. These chicks turning chicks out, yada yada. I see this shit, so I'm like, it's the same thing. So I came up with the whole conscious porn concept. So if people would stop and that's another thing this is doing, the whole boxing, this whole internet thing, we're really in boxes now. And they even in playground, everybody's getting boxing in different categories like crazy. And it's becoming more divisive on these devices. And that's what conscious porn was about, the TV heads on the, and sex, and the duality. And I saw like Cardi B coming, because I was like, okay, if Little Kim makes a Sprite can disappear in her mouth, motherfuckers going to want to actually see that. So to evolve, they're going to have to actually see it. Nicki Minaj came, I was like, that's not good enough. It's going to have to be actually porn. Somebody's going to have to put a dick in their mouth while they rapping. I saw this shit coming, right? It's inevitable. It's called evolution, right? You know what I'm saying? That's not fucking bullshit. So, so you get what you want because you keep wanting more. The same with the computers, the same with the yada yada. You get what you want, you get what you ask for, and you get. So here we are, and I can keep going. I got rhymes right now that I can say that Muggs ain't ready for, and I'll refuse to say them because I got scrutinized and I lost so many friends. It's funny that I can be on Facebook now and get like 5 likes, but and then watch the people that hated me years ago, 2010, say the same things that I said in my songs or said in interviews and that don't like me now. That's the hilarious hypocrisy. And I'll get to watch it. And I don't really care, but I do because it's like a slap in the face. You know what I'm saying? I remember being like 2014. I was in the park for 4 years working out free in the park.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, you with Matthew Law.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now it's weird, man. It's really weird, and I don't, and you gotta meet people where they're at. So I kind of like leave it and say I'm happy, but then I'm where I am, and I can see a lot of people that were elders that got caught up in that whole situation, trying to help people. So a lot of them did. Okay, say it like this. In the Bible, because I'm from the church also, so I know the Bible like crazy. So Moses didn't make it into heaven, right? They say Moses didn't make it into heaven, and Jesus did. And the reason why Moses didn't make it into heaven is because of the way he spoke to his people. You know what I'm saying? Because heaven and hell is on earth, like Wu-Tang Clan said. And just listen to the song Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. Look into the eyes, brethren. Look into the eyes, brethren. That's the lies of the reverend. Why should you die to go to heaven? The earth is already in space. So
I need to tell you this though.
Yeah, man.
Like sometimes as a creative, like you have to sometimes like you create and it goes places that, where you can't control it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're a little early. You know what I'm saying? A little earlier than what people are ready for. You know what I'm saying? But you always get the credit that is due to you because people recognize, you know what I'm saying, the origin always. So I need you to hold that because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we've had this talk, a similar talk before. We talked in the studio. And I think I was listening to my favorite song that you made, Emancipation. And we were in the studio.
Yo, that remix you did was crazy.
Oh, man.
That remix you did.
So we were in the studio, and I was like, yo, like, why don't you sing on your rap records? And you was like, yo, because I was doing it before, and people was, like, talking shit. And, like, I just, like, was like, fuck that. And you kept it separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's the same thing. It's like, dude, like, you're an innovator.
I had a song on my first album called Children Don't Play. And I sang a lot. Even on the intro of my first album called Hurry Up and Wait, me and my mom is singing on the intro. Then on my second album, on the first album, I have a song called Children Don't Play, produced by Illmind. And it's just me singing. And that was one of Illmind's first beats that he ever sold. He has 2 beats on that album. As a matter of fact, the drop that Illmind has on that, the drop that Illmind uses, Illmind mixed it. So ain't no need to fix it. That's me. Off my first album. That's me off my first album.
We got a special guest, right?
Hey.
Oh, shit. So,
Yeah, man.
so Hez is our guest today, Stacey. Hey, Stace.
Stay.
Hey.
No.
Stacey.
Hey, Felice.
Is she looking at us?
I see her.
She said, I can't hear anyone.
Well,
I can't hear anyone yet.
Why?
all right, give her a minute. But while she's coming on, she's got a special segment. It's called Memory Lane, where she comes on and we go back in time in Philadelphia music, entertainment, nightlife history. But while she's getting it together to come on, tell us about your new project and book.
Oh, perfect.
It's a book.
It's a book. It has a coffee. It's a I don't have it with me. It's a coffee table book. It has a bunch of quotes. I did this thing on, like, I'm high. You ever see that I'm high quotes on Facebook that I put?
I
I'm
saw
not on Facebook. See, that's the one place I'm not. Is Facebook.
Oh, right. Okay. So for the last 10 years, I 7 years, whatever. I used Facebook as a focus group, and I would just put quotes up on Facebook. So I would use it as a focus group. And I was actually writing a book, and use it and trying to gauge which quotes were going in the book. And I would take the best quotes and put them in this book. So I got a book to go along with an album. The album is executive produced by DJ Handyman. He put everything together, the interludes, everything.
Wow.
And we have 4 more albums after this that's ready to go.
Was this all done in COVID or like since COVID? Or
No, we've been playing this.
Hey, Hez, is the cover photo, is that you at Johnny Brenda's?
Yes.
I don't recognize that. I know that heater and that little room.
I know that heater. You're the first person that said
that heater in that little room.
I used to work the door there. I've spent many a night in Johnny Brenda's. So.
In that corner with the coat rack.
So we're still waiting for Stacy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. People always ask, like, they ask me, like, hey, what, like, you know, like, where did Tiny Room for Elephants come from? Where did it start? How did it start? Like, where did Beat Society come from? How did that start? Like,
it came from me being a dancer, being a rapper, doing art, and then being like, yo, I'm a producer first, and nobody knows I produce, right? So everything starts with self, and then it goes out, right? So I was like, damn, it's fucked up that we make the music and we have no place to perform. So I actually saw my boy. It was in like Virginia. Jean Baptiste. He used to be part of a group called Infectious Organism. Remember them? Do you remember them? From Richmond, Virginia. So I was touring with them, and one time they had a drum machine on stage. This is like 94, 95.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so when I saw that, and I was like, yeah, we need to be on stage. And then it just sat there, and then we Soul Spasm came up with beatsociety.com, where like in 2000, and people would buy beats and utilize beats for like HBO and Showtime, little shows like that were scoring. And then I came up, you know, I put the 2 and 2 together for the stage shows, Sayo and the whole crew, Jim, Sal, Christoph, Steph Tatas. We sat down and came up with a dope format and put it on stage in Philly. And I think the first producers was like Sat One, Kev Brown, myself, and I forget who else it was. But there was one more. Street Orchestra? I think Street Orchestra.
Yeah, it was Street Orchestra for sure. That was the one.
Yeah, beating everybody's ass. I didn't know who this dude was. Why is he beating our ass like this?
I did
that's how it started.
Yeah, he was incredible as well. Yeah, he was incredible. Stacy.
Okay. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost both?
Like, I'm going to the original. You can hear me?
We've done
Nope,
this.
I'm back.
Twice.
I'm back.
Oh, back at it.
I'm back,
Wait, what happened? Oh, here you go. Okay.
Us pulling Yaya on us.
It's Memory Lane. I'm back. Yaya?
Memory Lane.
Down memory lane.
What happens? Is it your thing that happens with you, Yaya? You have tech issues?
No,
When
no,
I
no,
always
she
have
hides
tech
her video.
Every
and
time
then
I try
pops
to
back
share
up.
my screen, it is the worst. So
All right.
It doesn't work out.
Stacy.
Okay.
So we got Stacy here.
Yes.
You got another rousing edition, another stirring edition of Memory Lane.
around it.
Woo. So yes, so I have a couple things for you today. So there's one thing. What's that?
I'm sorry. I want to tell Hez what's going to happen, and she's going to run down.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
And then you guys are going to choose which story you want to hear. So it's on you and your brother to pick which one you want her to go into.
If it sucks, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Any of them suck, but some are better than others.
Premium.
Some are better than others. Okay, so 3 memories I have picked are the story of my art on Half and Half, which is currently on Netflix. Our Tasty Treats 5-year anniversary with some special guests. And the kind of disastrous but amazing and wonderful Roots Picnic 2018 after party at Kiss and Grind.
God. You fit.
I'm gonna tell them all. You're gonna choose which one you want to hear first.
He said the Roots Picnic.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I was there. That's why I'm curious.
So, yeah, this is a good one. So in 2018, well, let me start over from the beginning. So from 2000, you know what? Let me start all the way over. Oh, don't mind that. I gotta get my. There we go. Memory lane. Okay. So in 2018, I partnered with Victor Duplay to do Kiss and Grind for the Roots Picnic After Party. We have been doing a Tasty Treats up until 2013 when we stopped Tasty Treats. And there was a little gap where nobody was throwing an after party, and Victor and I decided to start doing it. So we did it for a few years. It was great. 2018, we did it on the rooftop of Stratus Lounge, and Questlove was our special guest, and it would be Victor, Rich Medina, Craig Dash, and they opened up. I'm sorry, Rich Medina, Royale opened up, and it was Questlove and Victor Duplay was gonna DJ. So we go to Stratus Lounge. It's a rooftop, right? So it's beautiful. It's beautiful when the weather is beautiful. So this particular day, I mean, anytime you throw a party and it's outdoors, you know, there's a fear of weather. So this particular day, it decided that it was going to storm. And we had sold out of all of our pre-sale tickets, and it was a walk-up only, and it was kind of risky because we had sold quite a bit of pre-sale tickets. And during the day,
they shut the picnic down, right? Because
we didn't even get to that part yet. Yes, but during the day, there was a mad scramble to all of the Home Depots and Lowe's to get tents. We were like, well, we have to tent. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, we've sold tickets. We've already sold tickets. People are going to come. So half of the rooftop is covered because it's the bar area, and the other half is not. So the half that is not is where the party is, the DJ, the dancing, all the good stuff. So we're on a mad dash. Everybody's, Victor and Dave, the manager, everybody's going to look for these tents. So they come back with like every tent they could find. And we have little like vendor tents everywhere, everywhere on the rooftop. It looks ridiculous. So we tented the little stage area where the DJ booth is, and then it began to rain. Just raining, wasn't no big deal. However, over a certain period, over a short period of time, it turned into what could have maybe been like tornado-ish weather.
A monsoon.
It was like a monsoon, tornado, hurricane, like everything at once. And we started to realize like, oh shit, like this is something, we have to figure something out.
Yeah.
So as this is happening, we're getting texts from the picnic that like it got shut down, and because there were like bolts of lightning, and shit got shut down, and we're like, holy shit, everybody's about to come. So Dawn, who is Questlove's manager, texted me and said, yo, everybody's about to come over there, because nobody had really performed. So everybody, like all the celebrities were like there with nothing to do. Like they didn't get off. You know what I mean? Like they're like, what can we go do? So they all came to our party. And that's Quest came. So first when Quest came, his manager, myself, and Victor were on the stage of the outdoor area, and it's pouring. Victor literally thought he was gonna die. He's like, I thought I was gonna die in the midst of that. And then Amir shows up, and it kind of stopped kind of raining a little bit. So we were like hopeful, but then it started raining again. And his manager was like, yeah, we can't have him spin there. So now we're like, wow, okay, in the midst of a party, we have to move the DJ booth in the rain.
Wow.
From one side of the venue to the other side of the venue. Like, it's not even
in
close.
the middle of the event. This is like this
People are partying. Woo! People are dancing in the rain. Nobody cares. Like, everybody's just like, whatever. We are just going through this thing.
You're dirty anyway.
Yeah. So in the meantime, you know, they're figuring all that out. And Royale, shout out to Royale, because he did not have to, but jumped in and kind of helped us save that moment.
Yes.
Like getting us situated and set up, because Victor had to still continue to play like off of one turntable. Like it was like one person had to use one turntable, the other one had to use another, and somehow merge them. Nobody cared. Everybody was like, they got it. It was a storm. And then Dawn started texting me and was like, do you have room for Dave Chappelle? Because he wants to come. And we were like, of course, you know what I mean? And then she's like, do you have room for Busta Rhymes? He wants to come. Do you have room for T.I.? He wants to come. Do you have room for Randy? She wants to come. So it was like, we have room for everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Everybody get out.
Everybody get out.
we had a room. So we saved one of the end cap rooms, which are like 2 little indoor rooms on the roof for like a VIP area. So we did have room for them. But it ended up that none of them wanted to be in there. They literally were like around the DJ booth, partying with people, wasted. I'm going to show you a couple fantastic videos and photos.
Let's go.
But you know, I have to say it was fantastic. It was amazing, with the exception of the very, very end. Very end. Dave Chappelle was a dick. I mean, like a whole giant dick. Like, I mean, a drunk giant dick. Like, I mean, I can't say it no other way. Like, I love Dave Chappelle, so it was like so disappointing.
Is that something when you meet your
But I was like, yeah, it was disappointing. It really was. I was like, really, dude?
I stopped hanging around at a certain point because I started to get my heart broken. I was like,
yeah. So that was like a little like, on the end, but like otherwise, a really fantastic hot mess of a night. That turned out to be like fantastic and legendary. And I'm gonna share some of that footage with you. I'm gonna share screen with you. Hold on, let me pull.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, let me get to the right folder. All right, here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll play that last. That was yeah, that was, I have to say, Busta Rhymes truly is one of like the greatest humans. Like he was fantastic. I mean, so fantastic to everybody. I mean, not like no rudeness, no, don't talk to me, no, you know, nothing. It was like T.I. didn't want to be talked to. Dave was Dave. I mean, he was wasted. He was in the kitchen smoking cigarettes with the chefs. Like, he was all over the place. But Busta was super dope. So yeah, let's switch through here. So Busta came, Ninth Wonder and Rhapsody came. There's T.I. and Dave. And this, like, they're literally right at the DJ booth, just hanging out with everybody. So it was really cool. Me, Vic, and Rich.
Right.
Dave and Dave ended up hosting the party for the rest of the night. Dave was like the host. Look at him, the unofficial host. Look at him over here. Wow. Oh no, wait till you see the video. You're gonna die.
Great speaker.
This one Busta got here. Yeah, total. I mean, he was having, look at him, the time of his life. Good times. Amir and Yah, Alani. Look at him. Just I mean, I couldn't listen to me. I didn't pay this man. So like, I was like, this is amazing. You know, this is my party. That was great of all of them. And then
that's fun.
This is just a little video from, I think, T.I. when he jumped in and performed real quick. I think T.I.
Top of status, baby. Get your status together. DJ Questlove. Straight from the ATL.
that was great. You know, happened out of nowhere.
People pay for that as a performance. What T.I. just did. I've been to
What's that?
concerts and that's all they do. They just like they're quiet and then they come on at certain points. That was a performance.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The crowd's digging it. The crowd's digging
We had a
it.
whole TI show.
It was a whole TI show. It was also a Dave Chappelle show. I mean, you know, let's see if this might.
Do you have a number? Do you know how many people came in there that night?
That night we had, I think we had about 700 people, 800 people.
On that rooftop?
So it was a lot to deal with a rooftop that was like, you know, half not functioning.
Oh my God. Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah, this is just busted at the end of the night. So,
Lights were on. The lights were on.
Yes, he bought everybody shots at the end of the night.
Big up to the boss man who sanctioned this classic and historical moment. Salud! 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 Salud!
Yay! It's all done.
He's a real life character.
Listen, so
that was so good.
So freaking good.
I'm trying to see if I have the I don't know, maybe I didn't copy it out. There was one, I don't think I copied it, where Dave was singing and it was, oh man, it was something special. Yes, that was the wrap of the Roots Picnic of 2018.
Nice.
Great.
Yes.
That interaction.
Yeah.
It just made me have little heart pangs of like just enjoying people and music in real life like that. So I appreciate your memories.
And everybody just coming down, and that's one thing, Stacey. I remember seeing Pharrell in the middle of one of your parties in Fluids.
Oh, at Fluid, yeah, when he
doing
came.
the same thing in the middle of the crowd, like and chilling. And that's not just that night. That's been like I've witnessed that a few times. Like that's dope.
Yeah, you know, like it's funny. I did a residency for a friend for a fellowship, and we were talking about, you know, tasty treats and throwing parties, and you know, the often tones at clubs are, you know, sometimes there's fights, right? It's like fights outside, fights inside, things happen, but we have never had a fight in Tasty Treats.
Really?
Nope.
We had Stacey. We had a fight outside.
Outside, Hezekiah. I know. I remember Hezekiah. I remember. You punched somebody in the face. I'm not gonna say who, and I remember.
Hey,
I was like, take that shit down the street.
Hey,
Why are you doing that party?
Stacey called me the next day.
I was pissed. Take that shit down the street, Hezekiah.
That happened twice outside there. There was another time Ron didn't tell you about this. Anyway.
Oh, I believe it. You know what? Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Towards the end, there was one instance, and it was a friend that did it, and I cursed her out, and I was like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?"
Oh, I remember.
Making my block.
You know what I'm talking about, Dave.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
the bar back. The bar back.
Yes.
Was there bleach involved? There was bleach involved, right?
You said what?
Was there bleach involved? Because I know.
I was out there with Haronde at the time, and I was like, what just happened?
No.
That was something different. That's something different.
About that.
I know that one too.
Story.
I
I was eating dinner when that happened.
The bleach?
The bleach, yeah.
The bleach was
I was
crazy.
eating dinner when that
about that.
when that happened.
On my party. That was like a latest dish thing.
No, that was the party upstairs. That was
I don't know nothing about that
It was
bleach.
a different party upstairs. That was a different party.
Remember, that was nuts.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was nuts. Yes.
Oh my gosh, this was great.
Well,
oh man.
While we got you here, Stacey, have you been out the house at all? No, you still.
If you consider Wegmans out the house, I mean.
And you still got the same strict regimen.
I am still
with the washer and dryer and then
in the house.
People at Wegmans know you.
No, I mean. Wait. So maybe the front desk count. Because I be complaining about everything. What? Complain about everything, but it's like legit shit. I'm like, why don't you have trash cans in the parking lot for people's gloves? Like, ShopRite has trash cans. Like, why don't you have trash cans? It's that kind of stuff. I'm not like telling on people. It's like, what are we doing?
They know.
Why are there masks all over the ground?
Stacey was on our show a couple months ago, and we marked that she has a whole like routine regimen to like get in and out of her house. Like it's no joke. Like, you know, if I can recall, you enter through the garage, you take your clothes off in the garage, you head right to a shower, into another change of clothes. The stuff goes right into the laundry. It's like a whole kit that they operate.
Going to the incinerator.
You know what I'm saying?
Goes to the incinerator.
So I was like, is it still on level? Is it still on like code orange? Because I assume that you can get a little more stringent. So that's why I'm saying it's orange and not red.
The worst day of the pandemic happened like 3 days ago. I mean, we're in red.
And Stacey, I saw what you had to say about it on Facebook, and I did. And
the thread. I'm not even going to comment on the thread. Did you see the commentary?
I did.
I'm not going to call nobody out, but I'm just saying.
I'm not on Facebook.
Oh.
But I hear things.
Good job, Dane.
I hear stuff.
I do applaud that.
But it is interesting because I do think, like, you know, yes, I put a post up that was like, you know, just like I just am so confused most days. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like I'm sacrificing everything and people are out here like hanging out and hugging and sleepovers and
dipping their balls in their tea.
You know, and I'm like, what are we doing? What's happening?
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like I'm missing out on so much, but it's like, you know, I don't want to, but it's like
we missing out on so much, and mothers are still having orgies.
Well, when you talked about the hookah, this is something I don't think I'll ever do again.
Oh my God, no, pass nothing. I'm not passing anything. Okay, no, nothing. Matter of fact, like I don't even want like a bottle you're passing. Like I'm good. You know what I mean?
On the same subject, vaccine, no vaccine.
Oh man.
I said vaccine, no vaccine.
Vaccine, no vaccine?
Or has. Go ahead.
Me?
I don't know who you asking.
Both of you.
I'm asking both of you.
So
that's
it's tricky.
No.
I'll go.
No, I'm asking a question.
It's tricky because I'm going to say no only because I've not gotten any vaccines in my adult life. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
The initial response is no. Then the second response is hell no, because it happened during Trump. And it's just kind of like, who trusts that? And, you know, who trusts something that comes out so fast? How do 3 companies from 3 different places get a vaccine all at the same time? And they all in the 90 percentile? Like, how? That's like, that's you know, wow, how did that happen? You know what I mean?
The math don't add up.
But
so as an artist,
I'm not telling people not to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not telling people what to do because
I'm speaking for myself and
hold on, he's speaking.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for myself, and you know, I believe in rational and no fear, so I won't touch that vaccine. I won't touch the flu shot, because I believe that's all part of it. That's part of the trick. They're going to get people sicker with those things. So, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, I can't.
So as a performer, has like when things allegedly or possibly turn around. Like they're like, oh, you need a vaccine to travel. Like, are you like, is it a no-go, or you like, ooh, the bag?
That's if it's gonna be a travel, I don't know, man. Cause I can't. It's like you just trapped. You know what I'm saying? You basically it's the reality anyway. It's just more polarized.
That's not a definite. I'm just saying, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like, come here, right?
An airline.
All money ain't good money. All money ain't good money for me. All money ain't good money. I turned down money before because of morals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So all money ain't good money. I've been quote unquote free.
Health over wealth.
Health, yeah. And I can't. You can't. I just can't be. I can't smile. As a black man, the Sneaky experiment and all that shit, and I can't. Yeah, that's goofy. Like even like when I was in the hospital with anger, I was still like, what? Who touching me? Who put what in my arm? Yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a video of me when I was in when I had the shingles, and they kept coming in my room with eggs. And I'm a follower of Sabi, and so I don't eat eggs, and every morning they come on me with eggs. And the reason why I got in the hospital with the shingles in the first place is where I went against my diet and I started eating eggs. And so then I got in the hospital with the shingles and they was feeding me eggs. And I started saying this shit is a fucking insane asylum. And then I said an insane asylum is where they keep all the shamans. The devil's a lie. When they tell you put that cuckoo back in the clock, I say let that motherfucker fly.
That's what we're talking about. And on that note, we're gonna take it up. We're gonna take it up a little bit higher because first of all, I appreciate everybody for being on here. Steve, Ross, fucking Hez, this has been great. Like it could have been easy to talk about all your records and all your accomplishments, but I really enjoyed just having a conversation about just like, you know what I mean, real things. So, but to take it up a little higher, we got J-Dog on the keys. He's gonna play it. He's gonna play us out. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say thanks. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is another edition of the TRFE Happy Hour.
Yeah.
God bless.
J-Dog, take it away.
I'll echo that. I love seeing y'all.
Say it again, Jason.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. God bless.
Hey, and also, this has been the first edition of Hennessy Yaya.
How often does she make a quarterly appearance from Hennessy Yaya?
Yeah.
Hey, sponsorship, come through. Who out there is working for
Hennessy Yaya? That's
okay. I'm usually on wine. I love you guys. This was great.
On wine.
Play us out, Jason. Okay.
yeah, man.
Yo, and yo, you wore the right shirt. That shirt
You took me there, Jason.
you know what I'm saying?
Right, the shirt was right?
I was there with you. Thank you.
You need a fan inside the room so your shirt can blow.
And the shirt and the beard can blow.
And the beard.
This is great. I love y'all.
All right, well, this show's over.
Yo, be safe.
Thank you guys again.
Yeah.
Peace. This was fun.